I have finally perfected the art of the chocolate sourdough loaf, and that recipe is now linked in my bio, so I wanted to share the process with you. The first thing that you are going to do is bloom your cocoa in warm water, or you can use warm coffee if you're feeling fancy. Once this has had a moment to bloom, you're going to add in your vanilla, your sugar, your starter, and your salt, and go ahead and mix that up really well. Next, you're just going to add your flour, and using your bread whisk, you're going to get everything well combined, making sure that there are no dry bits of flour stuck to your bowl. Then I like to use my bench scraper to clean down the sides of my bowl, and we are going to cover this and let it rest for an hour on the counter before we start our first round of stretch and folds. The stretch and folds are not necessary, but they are encouraged to help build structure in your dough. Some people prefer to add their inclusions during the stretch and fold process, but for me, it's just a preference. I prefer to add mine during the laminating and shaping phase. After you've completed your stretch and folds, you are going to leave this on the counter to bulk ferment for 6 to 8 hours until it has nearly doubled in size and is a little jiggly and has started to form some bubbles on the top and sides. You'll want to laminate your dough out and then get ready to add in your inclusions. I decided to use some dried cherries, some chopped pecans, and I went for milk chocolate chips because this dough is not very sweet on its own, and I'm not a big dark chocolate fan. If you like dark chocolate, I would stick with semi-sweet chocolate chips or even dark chocolate chips. If you like more sweet, you could use white chocolate, or you could add more sugar to your loaf when you are making your dough. So once we get this shaped up, we're going to perform our push and pulls. Be very careful not to create too much tension because your inclusions will start to tear through the dough. And we're going to put this in the oven. I skipped the cold proof step because of my timeline. I baked this at 400 degrees with the lid on for 30 minutes and then took the lid off and finished it off for another 30 to 35 minutes until the internal temp reads 205 to 210 degrees. Pull this out and allow it to cool on a wire rack for 30 minutes to an hour before slicing into it to be sure that the loaf is done all the way through. This recipe and most of the tools that you see me using are linked in my bio. Let me know if you have any questions.